All right. Phantom.
This is so weird.
Let me tweet this out.
Is it a ghost type?
I don't know. Yeah. But that's not the one.
All right, let's do this thing. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast. Webisode 708. The Phantom Podcast.
Phantom, get ready for this, is a child's spirit.
Mom, Brain, tell us about Phantom, please.
I was just getting to the good part. Phantom is a child's spirit possessing a rotten tree stump and lives in abandoned forests.
Are you kidding me?
It is a wispy grayish-black Pokemon. A small tree stump covers its head with a single wavy branch situated on either side and extending upward. Each branch has 2 small green leaves near its tip. Phantom's red oval eyes are visible through 2 holes in the body of the stump. On its body is a pair of tiny stubby arms and a wispy tuft on top of its head. Its mouth appears to be on the stump itself rather than on Phantom's body. That's common misconception. I thought I'd clear up for you.
What the heck?
It is said that in forests where humans seldom tread, the stumps of the very biggest trees become Phantom. People that happen to enter the forest may be led astray by Phantom, as they are capable of imitating the sound of children's voices. Phantom, along with its evolution, are the only known Pokemon capable of learning Forest's Curse. I hope this Pokemon, I wish it never
give you the Forest Curse.
existed. It's
May you be damn
a ghost grass type.
Raking.
There's boys and there's girls. Its abilities include Natural Cure or Frisk.
Natural Cure. I'm not even going to get into it.
It's
That's not what I was thinking. Give me some of that Natural Cure.
Its hidden ability is Harvest. They're a foot tall and 15 pounds.
It's so funny. Thanks,
Phantom.
hey, Doc, you got any of that Natural Cure?
Natural Cure I hear about.
Yes, sir, I did. I will tell you that story. Thanks for checking up. I
we need the
appreciate
layout
that.
or-
The thing about is when stuff gets real bad and the dump hits the fan, it's fan dump.
Oh, I get it.
We're about to hit some real fan dump here, guys.
Hello, Ice.
Welcome to this week's edition of Fandom.
Shinrin and Cedar and Twisted N
So
and
it's all
T27 Duck, even though you ran away.
that's the app for the losers of the fantasy football stuff.
FanDuel.
There's FanDuel and there's Fandom.
Hi, Autumnal Blake and Joe and Sarah and the Yellow Wolf and Northern Sequence and Axel and Drake and Matt and Matt Fox and Matthew and Stakona and Malakalo and all 41 review and ZX Billy and Patrick Rogers and Fanders and Holden and whoever else I didn't see in there. Dark
Holden
Side.
Caulfield.
Thanks for joining us. Holden my dick.
That's nice.
First, let me answer. Oh, who asked it? Sir? Yes, sir. So, if you follow the Go Nintendo Twitter account, which is Go Nintendo Tweet,
What?
I send out 98% Nintendo-related news, and every once in a while something else. And without fail, whenever I send out something else, people are like, "That's not why I follow this account." I'm like, Jesus Christ! I send out like 150 Nintendo-related tweets a day. I can't do one
Without
about.
fail, if it's not related to Nintendo, it's NSFW.
You know what I always get is, does anyone care? Like, because it's a game.
Like that
they don't-
waitress's shirt?
Because it's a game they don't care about. I don't tailor my news to just you. I tailor to all Nintendo fans, and sometimes you get stuff that you don't even care about. Hello, Cumulative and Xeno. But anyway, I had made a note on Twitter because I was having trouble with getting a package, and I tweeted UPS, or I guess I should say I added them. Because I had, long story short, was trying to get a package, got 3 different answers from 3 different UPS people. One of them told me it was, they didn't have any idea where the package was at all. One of them told me they never received the package. And the third one told me the package was on the truck on its way to my house. All 3 of those were incorrect. But anyway, UPS got in touch with me and they're like, hey, DM us and give us the details. So I did that, and that's where, hello, John, that's where the story ended for the Twitter publicness. Here's what happened afterwards. The Twitter DM, when they got all my information, they gave me the same information that one of the other reps gave. And I was like, A, how do I know this is true? B, this doesn't help me at all. And they were like, well, That's it. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? They said, get in touch with the seller. And I said, I have multiple times, and they're the only ones that are actually helpful. So the seller was like, listen, we'll give it one more day. If the thing doesn't show up for you, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. They were like, you're not going to be out the money. You're not going to be out the item. We'll eat the cost.
The thing was a life-size replica of Bowser's Ding Dong.
So I was like, all right. So I wasn't too worried about it. I was like, we'll let the next day go and see what happens. So I did 2-day shipping, and they lost the package for 5 days. 5 days there was nothing other than the initial notification saying it was coming to the house, and then the next day it said, oh, it's not coming. But then there was no explanation. You clicked the link and it had no information, and according to them, they never got the package, which wasn't true. What I think is somebody at UPS just misplaced the package or missed it when they were picking up packages.
Because it was probably
and one day they were like, oh, what's
package,
this box? Yeah, and then they picked it up.
Or they looked at the package and they're like, oh, Rami Cowboy, he gets cool stuff.
Yeah, it was partially open. That's another point. The top of it was like completely open.
And what was inside is like sensitive materials. Like it's not like it was like a plastic something. It was like stuff that would be damaged.
Sensitive materials makes it sound like it's like
It was a
top
flashlight.
secret. It was comic books.
It would have been damaged by weather of
Yes.
any sort, or
It was a flashlight, and it's been
but that
used.
next day, I got
full
a
of gifts.
notification, and it was like, it'll be at your place tomorrow. And I was like, what happened to, we have no idea where it is, to now it's going to be at your house tomorrow. And it finally did show up. So like I said, I'm guessing they misplaced it, or it was in the back of a truck sliding around somewhere and somebody didn't see it.
fell off a truck.
It's
Jelly of
just
the Month Club
unbelievable to me that
stuck between the
UPS
seats.
gave me 3 completely different answers. Clearly, one of them just wanted to get me off the phone, because them telling me it's on the truck on the way there now. What am I supposed to say to that?
Well, they were right. That was the person who was right.
Yeah, right. It's in the truck. It'll get there in just like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Every time I have to talk to someone at Comcast, or,
Yeah,
or when I have to
they're
talk to
terrible.
multiple people at Comcast. Yeah, exactly.
So thank you for asking, Sarah. Also, I will give a very nice shout out to Midtown Comics, because that's where I bought the comics from. And their representatives that I talked to were so personable, so helpful, understanding, patient, and friendly. It was pretty much the exact opposite of dealing with UPS.
Do they
So
know
thank
who
you
you
to
are?
Midtown Comics.
Do you
I talked to
who I
one
am?
guy because we got into a conversation, because he was like, let me look up your data. It's been through a few different agents, so I got to read up on everything. And we let it. He's like, thank you for your patience. We don't deal with a lot of patient people. And I was like, I know you guys didn't do anything wrong. I was like, I work on the internet. I know how horrible
done
people
something
can be. We got into a conversation. We actually started talking
They
about what
could've
games we were playing.
Sent it out and then sold it to somebody else.
No, because my package said it was sent out the day that it was supposed to be sent out from them. So
Sent.
what are you doing?
Safe.
Same. So that's the end of that saga. Moving on, Mom Rain, we have an email pertaining to you.
Oh boy.
Did I do a whoopsie again?
Like in your pants?
Rami did an oopsie.
Have
No.
I offended someone?
Well, let's do this first. Let's do new segment cool.
Okay.
Go Nintendo podcast.
What the hell?
Go Nintendo Podcast. And segment. Cool. And segment. Cool.
Thank you once again to Donut Muffin for sending the icon to us. It is, boom, in the chat. Your link in the chat is there right now. Enjoy your icon. For our audio-only fans, Mom Brain will describe the icon to you. Nikki Hill, perhaps you will share it with Kirby.
I'm tied to the wall.
Mom Brain.
My hands are tied.
You.
I can just lean over.
Okay, this is tricky. Usually I can try and like link it to something that is familiar.
Wait, is that a
but
stewardess?
all right, so we're looking at a picture,
Riding a
and
scorpion?
at the top of the picture appears to be some kind of an emblem of like a sword and maybe some wings. So maybe that's some kind of emblem for someone. On the left of the picture appears to be some kind of hornet or other winged creature with a stinger.
Oh yeah. it's like
Sort of reminds you of like a
giant flying.
Pokemon battle, the way it's like posed, and it's shooting some kind of flex. You know, like when you
Bela Flex.
like when you floss your teeth, the stuff that shoots onto the mirror sometimes if you're not careful. It looks kind
Mouth
of like that.
dingleberries.
Yeah. At what appears to be a man and a woman
In coitus.
The woman is in front, the man behind.
Well,
The man appears to look like, what is the anime with the guy with the hair
that's every anime.
that's orange and spiky?
Naruto?
Dragon Ball?
Or maybe it's Dragon Ball.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got like Dragon Ball hair kind of, but they're dressed in sort of like maybe medieval peasant garb. And she has like kind of a little Pope hat on. She's wearing blue, like a blue dress.
You are painting
Now,
a beautiful picture.
Thank you. Here's what I don't understand, so it makes it hard for me to explain to you.
It looks like
The-
she's burning his face by accident.
The female in front appears to have like a blue
This is-
crystal hanging from
This
her.
is why I specifically picked this icon to go with today, because this part confused the hell out of me. Today.
Yeah, so the woman appears to have like a blue crystal hanging from her waistband, and then she's facing the wasp creature, but her fist is up behind her, and it appears to be draining the same color blue as the crystal, but out of the face and head of the man behind her. Now he appears to be smiling, and so does she. So
It's not
I don't think
painful.
this is painful, but I don't know that for sure. I mean, they appear to be on the same team up against this wasp
Northern
creature.
says they are role playing.
And that's, I mean, I wish I could give you more, but
Anyone who's watching the
He's
stream
got a
doesn't want to
shield,
click.
but it looks like he's got his hand on her back, like, you're doing great, sis.
yeah, they
Oh,
gotta
I didn't
like
even notice
link
the
up
shield.
together, maybe.
All right, guys. Do you have any? I didn't take a quote. I saw the mind melt thing, which I laughed at. But Kirby, your Stortus comment. I agree.
Yeah,
Oh,
her hat makes her look like an old-fashioned stewardess.
I like how she says Pope. You say Stortus. I see both of them.
Yeah, like it's a tiny Pope hat.
Or a hot dog.
Cumulative wants to
Oh,
point out that
understand.
he's very happy to be drained by.
I mean, right? He appears to be okay with it. Like this isn't uncomfortable.
I
And
don't know that that's a smile. It kind of. She looks like she's like got an evil.
she's
face
fierce.
to
She's
her.
Guys,
fierce looking.
And the guy's
Guys,
like,
his pants match
have a
her
bulge.
dress. So there's something with
they're connected.
there's something with a uniform here. I don't know if the sword with wings is a school emblem. I imagine that the
Oh.
giant wasp spider is named Lady Arachnid.
Ooh.
Sounds hot.
I wish
That's
that
hot.
you had. I wish that you had a tarantula, and her name was Lady Arachnid, and you brought her everywhere you went. Guys, Lady Arachnid's coming to dinner. I hope you don't mind.
All right. Well, here. Anything else you'd like to guess about or
I'd say
comment
it's an
on?
RPG, right? Let's.
Boy, this game turned into making fun of the icons to like legitimately trying to guess what
Well,
the
we
icons are.
I thought we're supposed to.
Oh,
understand what
you
it
can do
is.
whatever you want.
It's
It's your game.
Yeah.
I
I mean, all I can think is let your sword fly true or whatever. What's that saying?
Is that a saying?
Or maybe it's your arrow fly true.
Yeah, swords
find
don't
your
usually
enemies or
fly.
something.
Unless you
Well,
throw
if you
them.
throw
Yeah, sure.
but you don't typically throw them.
them. What if it's a throwing sword?
Is there such a thing? I
A
mean, Nikki Hill
a
would
dagger,
know.
a tossing dagger. After the banishing of the previous defender of your island, the community
There's no island
needs
here.
new heroes. The long training of siblings Elia and Zol takes them to the last trials, deciding who is the best fit to become the new local guardians. In the finals, they have to compete against a sleazy couple and clock to prove their worth. Rising to the top will not be an easy feat in Heroes Trials. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to
Is this
be
a trials game?
From what you just said, it
the
sounds like there's
siblings
only
or
one
the
trial
sleazy
left.
couple.
So it's just like you buy the game, you boot it up, and you play one fight, and then you're over.
Cumulative
I get a
says
sibling feeling from that.
swords fly if you're playing Gauntlet. That's very true.
Oh, yeah,
Then he says, right, Lube. Yes, because Lube would appreciate a Gauntlet reference
yeah.
without that.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Donut Muffin, for sending in another
Oh, wait,
icon this week.
So do we know what kind of game it is?
Yeah, Heroes Trials.
Is that a no?
Kirby, I run a Nintendo site, so I obviously know everything there is to know about every Switch game.
Mhm.
So I can tell you that Heroes Trials is a game
Let me
this is
look it up.
loading is taking a long time. God damn it. I tried to load it and I couldn't. Why is this not loading?
Yeah,
Because you tried to lie.
I tried to lie, you're right. Hello, Brian. Thanks for joining us. Well, let's just give it up. No, I have no idea what kind of game it is.
Not a lot of news this week.
I know.
No,
that's what I
it's
said to
not.
Kirby
That's
beforehand.
why we're wasting so much time. on this garbage.
I can't believe this link wouldn't load. I'll give it time. Anyway, we had a reader send in an email specifically for you, Mom Brain.
Have I offended someone?
No.
Okay.
Let me pull it up because I promised them we would talk about it on this week's podcast. This is from Willis, and Willis says, "Please." He says, "Ahoy hoy."
Nice.
Please let Mom Brain know that they are making a Hello Kitty movie.
What you talking about, Willis?
And
Nobody?
this article comes from the BBC, and they say Hello Kitty to be made into a Hollywood film. Hello Kitty, whose image already appears on pajamas, pencil cases, and the sides of buses, is to grace the big screen after the brand's owner signed the Feline's Icon's first film deal. The film's plot is not yet decided. So, Mom Brain, you could get in there. You could be the one that writes the Hello Kitty movie.
I don't know that I have what it takes to write a film.
And then Willis would like us to discuss if Hello Kitty's appearance in the movie will have human musculature just like Sonic does.
Well,
that would be horrifying. A human-like Hello Kitty. To hold that head up, you need a real thick hell of a neck, man. Or you need like a cart. You'd have to cart your head around.
She'd need like Shane McMahon's neck.
Yeah, it would be a freak, definitely. By the way,
Hello Freak Show.
Heroes Trials is you solve puzzles and prepare your strategy for battle, fight for the best clear time of each trial, or explore freely on the island to unveil its secrets. Has a compact story without having to waste time or repetitive tasks.
So, is it a puzzle game or?
Well, the screenshots make it look like an action adventure with puzzles. So I would say Zelda-esque. It's even got a top-down view. So. All right. Yes, I would say from the visuals right here, it does not look good, but yeah, I'd say it's probably close to what a Zelda game is. Old school Zelda.
The artwork wasn't very high quality either.
Enticing.
Yeah, the screens are worse. Giant Reggie says, "Fun fact: Hello Kitty is the second highest-grossing media franchise. Pokemon is #1." That's right.
Pokemon.
All right.
What is it going to be? Like a movie? Like
what is it going to be?
An hour and a half of some weird cat child trying to fit through a door?
An hour and a. I mean, if the cat is cute enough, I can watch that. But also, Autumnal Blake made a comment that I realized we need to add to the soundboard. He said, "Boom, Tetris for Jeff" in relation to something else. So I need to take that sound clip and add it to the soundboard. I would like to hear that all the time.
Boom, Tetris.
Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Yeah, it's from Tetris tournament. And I forget the other guy's name. I'm sure Autumnal Blake will remember.
It's not the one recently where the kid just won, was it?
What was recently? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Maybe it was.
Oh, yeah. I remember posting the press release for it. A different tournament. I promised Autumnal Blake I will do that. Jonas, he says. Yeah, that sounds right.
Tetris for Jonas?
Tetris for Jonas. Phoebus Jonas. I will make sure we get that on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know when it would be appropriate to use that soundbite, but
whenever you want.
Whenever you mention Tetris.
When you're excited about something, say boom, Tetris for Jonas.
It's too bad you don't work for Tetris.com anymore.
Yeah, well, did you know that you can play Tetris for free at Tetris.com? Nikki Hill, you trying something here?
Natalia,
See, that one works all the time. Hello, Rock.
Sure.
Thanks for joining us. Brian says, "It's been 200 plus games of Tetris 99 for me. 0 wins. I have not played 200. I have not played 100. I probably played about 30 or 40 games, and it's 0 wins for me too, my friend. I've gotten third place a couple times.
Wait, who said that?
Rock, yeah. No, that's a lie. Brian said it.
So, boom, no Tetris for Brian.
Oh! Boom! Got him. That is good.
Yeah, but
sorry, Brian.
I mean, you played it 200 times. Are you enjoying it? Because I would say that's a win.
I guess, yeah.
So you would say you're winning a Toon Blast. Because he's definitely played that more than 200 times.
I'm not enjoying it.
I can't get out. I'm not enjoying it. All right, let's do some news. First off, this week I had a...
for someone who's always negative, I'd expect that you'd at least support me when I try to be positive.
I'm always negative.
I'm always negative.
Yes.
About everything, and I would expect a little support.
What am I not supporting you in?
The fact that I just
Is Toon
tried
Blast
to
happen?
look at the bright side, and you're like, "Whoa, are you enjoying this?"
What do you mean? You said you're not enjoying it.
I'm saying if he enjoyed it, that's still a
That's
win.
a joke. Giant Reggie says. Giant Reggie says, if I still worked for Tetris.com, would I have known about Tetris 99? Yeah, probably. I probably would have.
Probably would have tried to write a story about it, and they wouldn't let you.
Boy, oh boy, I could talk days about how many stories I pitched to them and they wouldn't let me do. You want to know what they wouldn't let me do? Tetris in VR. I wonder why they wouldn't let me do that. Because it came out. That's why. Couldn't even tell. I guess they wouldn't have told me about Tetris 99 then.
Yeah, they didn't want that getting out.
Yep. They did let me write about the idea of a Tetris game show though, because I think that could be fun.
So that's how you know it's not going to happen.
What the heck did you do? They do the same thing they did with Candy Crush.
I don't even know what that's like.
Weird. That people play Candy Crush on a giant screen.
Oh, that's it?
Well, there's more to it than that, but they like swung people. It was like a giant screen that they had to like hoist people up to like fly around and touch it.
It must have been on Sundays, right? Because we would watch it around Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Would you watch it if it was just a person like interacting as if it was like Minority Report, where they're just like,
yes, I'd watch that. I mean, you know, esports are a thing, and Tetris esports are a thing as well. I would watch a TV show about people playing Tetris. Tetris is so universal that a lot of people will be able to watch that as an esport and know what's going on, more so than like somebody putting on an Overwatch match and they're like, I don't have any idea what's going on here, or Smash Brothers or whatever.
Is that your computer making that noise?
The noise it makes every day.
The noise.
Moise is for moist noise. All right. Well, anyway, this week I had a review of Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, which I played a good chunk of I played a good chunk of the original with you, Nikki Hill. You were the Prince Fluff to my Kirby. That's what it was.
I honestly don't. I remember trying to play it with the stranger, but I never.
You and I played it together when I first got it. Yeah.
You said a good portion of it?
Yeah.
We played a bit of it. Yeah.
We did. Hello, Andrew. I sent you an email yesterday, I think, or today. I don't remember. I will get in touch after the show. Yes, we played that together. But this is Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, which is a re-release, but with some new features in there. So there is basically what are they called?
The needle.
I don't remember what they're called, but they're basically Kirby's copy abilities were added to the game, but you don't swallow enemies to get them. You just grab like this little, it's like a button or a badge or something, and Kirby takes that and gets an ability like he used to in the old game. So there's like, you know, sword and bomb and other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. Nope, this is on the 3DS.
3DS. The new 3DS or the 3DS?
I think it's all versions of the 3DS.
Or 3D, new
all
3DS
versions of
XL?
3DS and 2DS. And also
Which is a 2DS is just a DS.
No.
Well, I mean,
No, that's not true. A 2DS is just a 3DS, but without 3D.
no.
A 2DS is not a DS. They are different.
In what ways?
He doesn't get it.
DS was the are you joking now? DS was the previous generation.
The 2DS is a two-dimensional 3DS,
Yes.
which is essentially a DS, but it also doesn't fold, right? Or do these fold now?
2DSs don't fold.
They're like.
But I guess the one that I have is a 2DS X. I don't know what I have. I don't know what it's called, but it's a 2DS because it doesn't do 3D.
Right. Neither did the DS.
So you're saying the DS and you're smiling. I'm not doing this anymore.
No, it's true.
It's not true.
Admit that it's true. The 2DS is the new DS, whereas the 3DS was its own thing. The 3DS.
No, that's wrong.
Was
the new DS was the DSi or the DS Lite.
That was just a redesign. Those were redesigns.
I know you're doing this on purpose.
Redesigns with
The 2DS is not in any way a DS.
Why not?
Because it doesn't
fit in the Rolodex.
Because they're different systems. That's like saying a PS3 and a PS4 are the same. They're not.
I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying it's like the newer version of it.
See, Giant Reggie's got it. Giant Reggie says a 2DS is basically a DS2. That I would
That's
go
what I'm
for.
trying to say. It's
Well,
like,
let's say that.
like the 3DS was something new. They did 3D with
Yes.
it. They evolved from the DS, and then they were like, we're gonna devolve.
Oh, so you're
into
not
the-
saying 2. You're saying you're not
As
saying
well.
it as you are saying it as the number 2 and not as well.
I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, we figured.
So there's the
I
DS.
know, obviously.
Then there,
that-
I got so all right. I
that-
get it.
that-
So there's the DS. The 2DS is in number 2, and then the 3DS is in number 3. You weren't saying it's like the DS, the also DS.
I mean, you're
and
changing
the
what I said, but
3DS.
yes, essentially.
Yeah, okay. Alamo says
I say-
6DS. Anyone?
I say the 2DS is more like the original DS than the 3DS is. Because it's got one screen that doesn't do anything and one screen that's a touch screen. Whereas the 3DS has that, but it's also the top screen is 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So they evolved into the 3DS, and then they were like, we're gonna devolve back into two-dimensional screens.
Well, is that devolving?
Yes.
Okay.
De-evolution.
Well, anyway, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn also has a devilish
So
mode
extra.
to make things more difficult, where this little devil guy chases you around and tries to steal your beads or gems, whatever you want to call it. And then there's 2 minigame modes in there as well, one where you play as Meta Knight and one where you play as King DDD. And those are levels that are meant to be replayed time and time and time and time
It's
again
called
to
Triple
collect
D?
all the patches and everything. It's not like it's 2 more fully fleshed out games, but those minigames are a lot of fun. But I really liked it. I loved Kirby's Epic Yarn, and I think this 3DS version is a very faithful port. Plays well, looks good. Obviously, doesn't look as good as the Wii one did, but you were playing that on TV, and there had to be some concessions made between the 2 platforms. But yeah, if you've never played Kirby's Epic Yarn, I would highly recommend Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. It was a very enjoyable experience. I was just sitting in the bathtub the other day playing it to collect extra stuff, just because it's a very relaxing game. It's got
the
great
2DS,
soothing
You
music.
played on 2DS?
Yeah,
Or 3DS.
no. Why?
No.
It doesn't support 3D
What?
anyway, so
No.
But I didn't know the 2DS was waterproof.
none of them are.
Ooh, you're dangerous, man.
I did I say I put water in the bathtub? Don't assume.
He fills
Uh,
it with couch cushions.
Yes. When there's loud storms outside, I get nervous and I go sit in the tub. All right, moving on. The Switch in Japan, if you want to know, is still outpacing the sales of the Wii, which was, a pretty popular system. So, most recent sales data from Famitsu says that the Switch has sold 7.5 million units after 103 weeks of being on sale. After 104 weeks, the Wii had broke the 7 million mark. So it took the Wii, so the Wii was worse.
The Wii was woes.
The Wii took longer to just get to the 7 million mark, and the Switch is already halfway through the 7 million mark in less time. So I'd say that's pretty good. And then with all the big stuff that's coming out for Switch this year, I don't see it slowing down by any means, because you have major titles that people are going to scoop up Switches for. Just after the announcement of Pokemon Sword and Shield last week, sales in Japan saw a sizable bump, and there was no major Switch release at all. They sold like another, I want to say 15 to 18,000 units above what they did the previous week, and that bump is definitely attributed to the reveal of Pokemon Sword and Shield. So people are hungry for that. People are going to buy the Switch like crazy for Animal Crossing on the Switch, without a doubt. You have Fire Emblem coming out on the Switch. You have Yoshi, which is coming out, Yoshi's Crafted World coming out at the end of this month. Dragon Quest, what is it? 11S, which is
Does that stand for special or something?
Switch.
Oh.
Special. This is how Japanese companies work. They give you a letter at the end of like re-releases or remakes, and it has multiple meanings that they both use, and also fans, they say, can use for whatever. So it's not necessarily meant for Switch or meant for special or something like that. But that game, Dragon Quest, it is 11, right? Yeah. Dragon Quest 11 is going to be pretty damn big, because if you take a look at the Famitsu weekly charts that show what fans want the most, right now, Dragon Quest 11S is at the top. It's the most wanted Nintendo game, and Animal Crossing is below that. Now, that has a lot to do with Dragon Quest, actually. Like, we know all about that game, and we know more about release plans and stuff like that, where Animal Crossing, all we had is a confirmation that the game is coming out this year, and that's it. So once more news comes out for Animal Crossing, I'm sure it will overtake Dragon Quest. But right now, Dragon Quest is way up there. We're talking about top 5. So it's going to be a very big year for the Switch, without a doubt. Oh, my goodness. That's a really long comment. Oh, that's a long comment, too. These are so long.
They're always long.
How thoughtful,
Sokar,
you guys. You guys are so thoughtful.
says, as long as the momentum keeps up, the Switch can outpace the Wii. That is what we're doing right now, my friend. Yeah, that's how things are going. Will it continue this way? I don't know, but I think at least for this year, things are going to be good. Oh, we got Zelda this year too. The remake of A Link to the Past, which, Mom Brain, you've never played.
Right.
Kirby, have you played it?
A little bit.
Oh,
I never.
oh, love that game. Love that game. What a great story and atmosphere in that game. And I think that's only going to be enhanced by the...
Is that the one with the big egg?
Yes, Nintendo's approach to the visuals in this one. I love how it's like a little like, it's kind of like a Link Between Worlds, and also a little more like toy-like. And there's reasons why I like it, which I guess I would consider spoiler now, because they're bringing it back out, and there's plenty of people who haven't played it. So I won't get into that, but I think the visuals fit very well with the story that goes on in the game. Really love that story.
I've got Link's Awakening DX on my 3DS.
And you never played it?
No, I started to, and it
That's
was
why I
like,
played it.
find an owl. Well, whatever. I'm done.
Really? So like the first 5 minutes?
I tried, but you got to talk to people.
We got a real Doom Michaels.
Yeah, right.
No, I just
Try and
look,
fail.
I'm very severely introverted, and if I have to talk to people in a video game setting, I still get uncomfortable.
You said owl. That's not a people.
I have to talk to people to find the owl.
And it's a talking owl.
You can find the owl without talking to him. I know right where that owl is.
I don't. Yeah, you do. Because how many times have you played it, Mr.
I've played that quite a bit, yeah.
Can't see my screen.
But again, that is like the first 5 minutes. Yes, you can.
Can you?
I got you.
I don't have that kind of time.
It's just I'm gonna.
Just-
Nope, I'm doing music. Whoa.
Oh,
Oh,
this
God,
here.
sorry, guys.
Jesus Christ.
I only got 30 minutes before my next level of Toon Blast clears.
My back.
Could have warned
We can see a tiny corner of your screen. That's about it. You're fine. That's good. Moving on. No, you are. I don't know what I'm going to say. When did Turok come out on a 64?
Oh, God.
When did 64 come out? 96? 97?
1964.
Have you reached out to Lou with this information?
1964.
96 sounds right.
There's probably kids who think that's true.
Well, anyway, Turok. The original Turok is coming to the Switch, and it is coming out March 18th, and it will be $20. Now, I want to point this out. This is the original version of Turok, but remade in the Unity engine. But it retains the look of the original. So you have a high-definition version of how the game looked on the 64, minus the fog, minus the slowdown. So it runs appropriately. Everything isn't obscured by fog, because obviously the Switch is a little more powerful than the 64 was. So now you can play it.
Just
It's
a
basically like, it plays how, if you played it before, it plays how you like fondly look back on it, but never really played. But this is going to be the best version of Turok. I like that they are just, instead of redoing the visuals completely, I like that they took the approach of let's keep it how it looked on the 64, but make it run appropriately and put it in high def. So if you've never played Turok, it was a fun game, and it has some crazy weapons in it. And it's just weird. Dinosaurs and robots and cerebral boars and monsters. Yeah, I think the cerebral boar's in the second game.
Yeah, so the first
It's like a little sphere that you throw out, and it like attaches the dinosaurs or enemies' heads, and like
it drills
in and
Oh, I was thinking
shoots the
AR.
brains out.
before.
It sure
Press it once. And look.
Yeah, let me see if this needs to be edited. Oh, here's the problem.
Hey, Nikki
Wow,
Hill,
thanks for that.
there's a cerebral.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
There's a cerebral
Okay,
boar
no
in the
no doubt.
game.
gee.
I'm sorry.
Sure is
Keep-
boring.
just keep
around
talking.
here.
Yes, a cerebral bore. So that's coming out this or March 18th. And then the sequel is also coming out as well, but we don't have a release date for that one yet.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Hey!
Okay, what was that even in reference to?
The cerebral bore.
Cerebral boring.
First comment comes from ATMB82, and they say 100% complete with original fog. No, while fog may be an element in a game, it's not going to be used as it was in the original. Again, the original had a lot of fog to work within the limitations of the N64.
I think that's clever.
Yeah, it was basically used to, cover up the very short draw distance.
Yes, but it's a clever idea. Yes, but some games had fog like 4 feet in front of your face.
Yeah, a lot of 64 games in particular had like Nightmare Creatures had a lot of fog.
What's this guy doing?
Stealing my thunder.
It's funny that like a lot of N64 games use that, but not a lot of first-party N64 games use that. Like they had, and rare games didn't really have it either. They knew the magic.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
A lot of N64
No, I understand
games
what you
use
said,
fog.
but I just don't remember what it would even look like. I don't.
Foggy.
What is an N64 these days? I don't even know.
I don't know how to answer that. This week we found out, but they come out March 13th. Our new NES games for the Switch Online NES collection here in the States and in Europe. You'll be able to play the classic NES game Kid Icarus, as well as, hello, John, as well as one of the wonderful NES games that a lot of people didn't find out about until much later in their life, much longer after the NES was out. Star Tropics is coming to the Switch.
Star
A
Tropics is
fantastic
great.
game. Long story short, if you like classic Zelda, you would like Star Tropics without a doubt. Except in Star Tropics, you island hop and use a yo-yo or whatever.
Yeah, a yo-yo and sometimes a baseball bat.
Hi, Mark. It's a fantastic game. Great soundtrack, too.
Can you do Cat's Cradle or something? With the yo-yo?
Cats in the cradle with the silver spoon. You can do that with a yo-yo, right? Cat's Cradle? Oh, doing it right now. So I want somebody to draw a yo-yo in there. So that is coming out March 13th. So look forward to that. Switch Online NES Collection subscribers. Mike Jones says Roth. Mike Jones. That is his name.
Oh yeah, he had like the most
Basic name, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean,
Hi, Manticorus. Hi, Cam.
I know Star Tropics was specifically developed for like an American audience.
Yes.
So they were like, we'll name our main character Mike Jones, and he loves baseball.
Yep. And yo-yos. Americans love yo-yos
Yes.
and islands. The Dreaming Hawk says, finally, I can play a version of Shadow Dragon that doesn't look awful. He's talking about the Japanese collection of games. It's in Japanese, but I'm going to work my way around that. Good month all around with 4 games in total when you combine the apps, which is what we should be getting each month for each region. Yes, in Japan, they are also getting Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and Yai R Kung Fu. So they're getting 4 games. We, as always, will get... Hello, Oliver. Happy Saturday to you, my friend. As always, the NES collection, when it updates, gives us more games than Nintendo announces, and it's usually special versions of those games that are already on the service. So expect more than what was announced. Here's one that got a lot of people talking this week, and it certainly makes Nintendo look good. Dragalia Lost is a mobile game that comes from a partnership between Nintendo and Psy Games. It has been doing quite well for itself, but apparently has not been doing as well as Psy Games' parent company would like. Psy Games' parent company is Cyber Agent, and they forecasted bigger revenue from Dragalia Lost, and they didn't hit that target. And again, the game is doing well, but not as well as they projected. What is going on here? Well, a Cyber Agent rep had this to say. Nintendo is not interested in making a large amount of revenue from a single smartphone game. If we managed the game alone, we would have made a lot more. So basically what he's saying is, boy, if we made this game by ourselves, we would have done a ton of microtransactions and gouged you people for money. And Nintendo has been very clear saying that when it comes to revenue earnings on mobile, they want to do things that are fair for the consumer, and they don't want to nickel and dime them around every turn. So that is what Nintendo has done with Dragalia Lost, and Cyber Agent is not happy about that. So basically, Nintendo's I'm not saying I agree with every decision Nintendo makes. I'm not saying every decision is a good one or a smart one, in my opinion. But I would say in this instance, Nintendo really was looking out for consumers. They don't want you to have to pay to win. And Nintendo has taken multiple approaches with their mobile games as far as revenue goes. They have Fire Emblem Heroes, which is much more traditional. They had Super Mario Run, which is a flat fee up front, and then you get all the content after that at no additional cost.
Which people
did not like,
did not understand.
I talked about that in a video because it's crazy that like they want games like Fire Emblem Heroes where you have little things that you can buy here and there, and you end up spending a lot of money versus Super Mario Run where you just pay like you would for a regular video game. You pay an amount and that's it.
When was the last time there was a Super Mario Run update?
I mean, they do new content almost every week or every other week.
Do
I just posted about it today. Yeah.
How often do you play it?
Maybe 2 times a month.
Okay.
Okay.
Satisfied.
I like the
Very proud of
remix.
you.
I like the remix 10 mode a lot. It's fun to run through. I really like playing it. If I don't sit down and I'm like, time to play Super Mario Run, but if I'm just like futzing around waiting for something to update, I'll play. I do like that mode, and I like that song because it's so good bad. But yeah, it's not like brand
Which
new.
song?
It's only in that mode, but it's like it's a combination of a whole bunch of classic Mario songs, but done in like a very cheesy like 90s dance style.
Oh, okay.
And like a lady that's really like over the top singing. But yeah, it's like 3 or 4 songs from throughout Mario's history combined into one dance song. It's really good. Sorry, what?
Where the unicorns grow?
That is correct. Sorry, I got a text. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Dragalia Lost from here on out. Obviously, Nintendo probably is going to be happy that this company is speaking like this, but we'll see. They're not going to talk about it anymore publicly. At least Nintendo is not, but Cyber Agent might.
Dragalia Lost, more like all them profits lost. Great job, Nintendo.
Dragalia Lost, more like my sale you lost.
Oh, great job, Nintendo. Blow all those profits.
You're too long.
That's the point.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Nintendo, no way I'm playing that if you're not taking my money.
BLP Software has a top-rated comment. He says, Nintendo stated from the beginning.
Oh, God.
What? Oh, no.
What? Nintendo's plan from the beginning was to use mobile as a gateway to get people into their IP and then their hardware. You don't do that by draining their wallet. They aren't using mobile as a moneymaker. They're using it as an advertisement. Plus, Nintendo hasn't even put in app purchases in any game you've had to pay up front for. Even Sony and Microsoft have done that. They value their products in a different way. I would certainly agree with that. Nintendo does value games in a much different way than the competition. That is true. I got a text from my sister, and she says, do you like Thor 1 or 2 better than Captain Marvel?
Ugh, that's a tough call.
I mean, the first couple of Thors are pretty low.
I would say...
Ooh.
See, I like Thor, though.
Did your sister see Captain Marvel? Yeah.
Yeah, she saw it.
What did she think?
He's still making.
She liked it, but she said what we said, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like it. I definitely like it better than Thor: The Dark World. I think, which is the worst Marvel movie.
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know. Would you say Captain Marvel was funnier than either of the Thor movies?
Yes, obviously. Then Ragnarok blew everything away.
Yeah. Or yeah, I meant Thor 1 or 2. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm answering her too. I want to see. Oh God. Sorry. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Moving on.
Sorry.
There was
There's not a lot of news this week.
Pokemon sealed first edition base set. So we're talking about the cards, the trading card game, up for sale at Heritage Auction. And it brought in $78,000. Somebody paid $78,000 for a sealed base set for the Pokemon trading card game. That is unbelievable. It was the most expensive sale of the auction for that day. Think about that. You have the kind of money to blow on you have that type of money that you can spend $78,000 on a box of Pokemon cards. So you're a huge Pokemon fan and you got tons of money. Or maybe you're just a collector that wants to, consider an investment.
Yeah, you're gonna try to flip that for 100 G's.
Could be, but you still got the 78 to spend, man. It's a lot. You think it's like some kid who's like, "Daddy, buy me this box of cards," and he's kind of like, I don't know,
Well,
cut him out and hang him on his door or something.
well, Junior, you're either gonna get these cards or you're gonna go to college.
Well, I guess we know what
I
he's
guess
doing.
you got the cards, yeah.
Right. That seems like a weird thing for a parent to say.
Well, I mean, they don't have a lot of money. They just had that 78,000.
This is all the money we have in our bank account. It's either going to your college or
I'm gonna have to sell mine and your mother's car, so neither of us are gonna be able to go to work. But Daddy,
I think he just solved it. Maybe the dad thought it was a Pokemon car, and he's like, "Our cars are old, so we could get a new one." He's like, "What the hell?" Autumnal Blake says, "I myself don't see how people can do this, but if it makes people happy, that's great. I'm heading to Big W. Anyone want anything? What the hell is Big W?"
Walmart?
No,
The dub.
Big W's got to be something else. It's got to be like a European thing, right?
CW.
The Big CW.
Who was that? Autumnal.
I'm sorry, what? Autumnal Blake. Yes.
Autumnal Blake is Autumnal Blake.
Well.
Well,
Here we are, my friends.
finally.
As I promised you, our inside information was spot on. This week, Nintendo confirmed their next Nintendo Labo kit. And it is the Nintendo Labo kit number 4, the VR kit. And I think Nicky Hill is seeing it for the first time because he's probably looking at the bird.
Oh, there's a bird one?
Oh,
there's a bird one.
where you stare into the bird's
at
ass.
The elephant one.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. So, yes, it is real. Nintendo Labo VR kit is due out on April 12th. That's Nintendo's foray into VR with the Switch. And let's see. So you can get the whole kit with all with the kit and caboodle, or you can like piecemeal it together. So there's the Toy-Con VR goggles, the Toy-Con blaster, Toy-Con camera, Toy-Con bird, Toy-Con wind pedal, and Toy-Con elephant, as well as a screen holder and safety cap. That's everything in the VR kit. But you can buy the VR kit starter set if you want, which is only $40, and that includes VR goggles, Toy-Con blaster, the screen holder, and the safety cap. So if you get the starter kit and you like it, you can still buy the other stuff separately. I am very excited about this. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to be fun, but I'm down to stare in a bird's ass for a couple minutes and see what's up. Like when they were making that, they had to know people were going to joke about that, like holding the bird's butt up to your face.
Wait,
like,
what's this cannon-looking thing?
well, let's see what Toy-Con it fits into. Toy-Con blaster, I guess. And the camera one seems like it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this works, see how it's handled as far as VR goes on the Switch. I honestly don't know what to expect. We know the Switch's specs aren't up to snuff with like what's on the PS4 or anything like that. There's no trailer for the Toy-Con or for the VR yet. Thank you.
I mean, somebody's got a video of it.
Yeah, that's not real.
No?
As far as I know, there was no trailer.
Okay. Well, somebody fooled me.
So
Nintendo
it's
Labo
coming out
VR
soon.
First look concept. Okay.
Oh, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I honestly don't know what to expect. I am going to get it. I'm getting the whole thing just because I'm excited about it. I like Nintendo's weird experimental stuff a ton. I love when they do that kind of stuff, so I'm sold. I'm not expecting it to be anywhere near the level of even the PSVR for that matter, and that's a low-level VR experience. But I don't know. It's sure going to be interesting. Top rated comment comes from Tupin, and Tupin says on a 720p screen. Really? Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out, my friends.
I'll tell you one thing. This little scar I have on my cheek is from the day I was born. I had to get put into like an incubator thing, and they put cardboard glasses on my face, and I got a cut. I've lived with that cut on my cheek for the entire life. I'm not going to put no cardboard goggles on me again. I've learned my lesson. Give me real VR. Give me a real VR system. Also,
they call me Mr. Glass.
Do they what the heck is this garbage?
Yes.
Is there a way to hold it to your head without having to hold it to your head?
I believe no, because that's the whole point of the experience. Like all of them are tailor-made to moving around in real life. So like the camera, you wouldn't strap to your head because that's not how cameras work. That would be really funny though.
Now, is it VR, AR?
No.
AR, VR. There's no camera.
There's no camera.
Just
VR.
Is there a camera on the Switch at all?
No.
Oh, they really blew it on that one.
There's the IR camera on the Joy-Con.
IR tired.
North America, this week's digital releases. Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn.
So extra.
Baba Is You. The Caligula Effect Overdose. Assault Android Cactus Plus. Isneo, the comic app. Aperion Cyberstorm got a demo. There's the Ultimate 11 SNK Football Championship. That's a Neo Geo game. Bombfall. Braveland Trilogy. Claybook. Ghoul Boy. Hard West. Mahjong Stories. Vampire Romance. Ooh. Monument Builders Rushmore. Little Riding Champion. My Little Riding Champion. Paper Brawlers.
Paper bound brawlers.
Paper Bound Brawlers. Proficient Paddles Deluxe. Space War Arena. V Rally 4. Valley. And World Tree Marche.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. You, sir, in the back?
The Switch has been out for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
How many games have you played other than Nintendo first-party or maybe second-party games that are companies working with Nintendo, where they used the Joy-Con controllers in a way that's not just as a controller? Like they were more innovative with it.
Are you counting HD Rumble?
I'm just saying that you play a game that's in a
well, I need to know what you're talking
about.
about. Are motion controls not conventional? Because they've been a part of Nintendo systems for a long time.
I don't know, man. I'm saying like you use it to eat like a sandwich.
There's one where you use it to eat a sandwich.
No, but like 1-2 Switch is like the only game that's really just messing around and trying different things. Everything else is just like whatever.
With the controller, you mean?
Yeah.
I can't think of any that are experimental with the controller's abilities to that degree. No, but there are games that use HD Rumble. There's games that use motion controls. IR camera is really Nintendo's thing, so no, nobody's doing anything with that. But that's used in all the Nintendo Labo stuff.
Because I mean, I'm even thinking about the DS and the 3DS and the 2DS and the new 3DS, new 3DS XL. Nobody's using those games like they originally were like touchscreen. Oh, this is awesome, and now it's just like whatever.
What are you talking about on the 3DS?
I just named them all.
You're saying on all those systems, nobody used touchscreens for stuff.
They used them for a while, and it was like some games that was the only way to play, and then it was just like, yeah, it's a fad.
Yeah, it's the same with any system.
Except for the Switch, they don't even use it in a different way. I mean, there's not a whole lot of different ways to use it, I guess, except for Labo. But
like that's I don't like. It's very hard to say different
stuff?
way.
Who's getting crazy with touchscreen stuff?
Getting crazy with it.
Like how crazy are we?
Going effing crazy.
Who's doing stuff that nobody else is doing? Who's trying?
What do you mean by nobody else is doing?
Who's trying different things? I don't know. That's what I'm talking
All
about.
you do on a touchscreen is touch the screen. So anybody that uses the touchscreen is doing that.
But who's making a game that's solely touchscreen? Nobody, because they all want it connected to a television.
There are games that are only
And
touchscreen.
the HD Rumble, I don't even notice it if it is being used.
Like whose fault is that?
Well, what do you notice it with? You play with
gotta
the
figure
phone
out a better way
controller.
to do that.
Yeah, you keep knocking the camera over.
You play with
Maybe
a pro
you
controller,
know what?
so
It's
you don't
probably
even
our fault
experience
because we
the-
went out to eat and we didn't get home in time to set things up.
I'm sorry, what?
You don't even experience the.
Pro controller has HD rumble.
Does it?
Yeah.
All right, well, good for
Huh?
you.
I think the problem here is
I mean, is Trials have HD Rumble?
it has rumble. I don't.
I mean,
It does
they
not
could
use
really
HD
use
rumble.
HD Rumble.
Do you really think Ubisoft's going to do that? Come on. That's not
It's there.
Ubisoft style.
I don't care about Ubisoft style. I'm talking about like everybody should be using it because it's there. It's an element that's supposed to make it more.
It is there. It is an element that I would like to see used more. I completely agree. But especially if you're making a multi-platform release or a port of something that's been on other systems, then you're probably not looking for the bells and whistles. You're going to add in like content to the game rather than HD rumble.
That is content.
Like in-game content.
How about this? I want to play Trials on my Switch. I'm going to hold my controllers this way, and I'm going to rev it up, and that's how I accelerate by going.
I mean, you would never
You
play
missed your
like that,
bugs.
but like Ubisoft knows
How do you know I would?
that the amount of people that are going to use that kind of control system set up on Switch is going to be minuscule. Nobody's going to, a very small minority of people is going to want to play that way with Trials. But there is a racing game coming out for Switch that is made where you play handheld, but you can put the screen in your Toy-Con, the motorbike Toy-Con, and play that way. So there you go.
I would play Trials that way once.
You're not. Yeah, right. That would be weird, though, because Trials is a side perspective and you are looking straight ahead.
Okay, so you're right.
And there being no turning.
Okay.
It's a 2D plane. So the game that's coming out that's actually first person and uses the Toy-Con makes a lot more sense. So you're getting what you want, somebody using that stuff.
You should be a game developer.
Are you going to play that game? I wish I knew the name of it. I don't. It was just announced not that long ago. Steel Diver says, I wouldn't mind playing Kirby's Epic Yarn again, but I really don't want to use my 3DS. The screen is so low res compared to the Switch. I will stay far away from that discussion.
You should talk to Nicky Hill. He's got lots of opinions about the 3DS and the 2DS.
In Europe is Kirby's
Just
Extra
one.
Epic
The 2DS
Yarn.
is a regular DS with better specs.
Is this an Etrian Odyssey? No, that's DLC. Also available is Assault Android Cactus. 12 is better than 6. Bard's Gold, the Switch edition. Beat Cop. Pillar. RBI Baseball 19. Unknown Fate. Mahjong Stories Vampire Romance. Ikari Warriors. Valley. Braveland Trilogy. Free Cell Solitaire. Hard West. Whoa. Oh my God. All these?
Oh, I thought you like
Bad Dream Coma, Bedtime Blues. No, this can't. No. This is a special sale, right? Yes, special sale. Monument Builders Rushmore, Paper-Bound Brawlers, Proficient Paddles Deluxe, Quest for the Golden Duck.
Maybe if they didn't rush more, they could build better quality monuments.
Kalila got a demo, Pillar got a demo, DLC on a whole bunch of jazz like usual. And that's that. Let us see.
That's it. That's all.
That's all. Let's see what you guys had to say. First comment comes from Autumnal Blake, and he says, I don't think I'll be picking up anything this week. Maybe Final Fantasy IX. I will be trying my hand in the Tetris 99 Grand Prix. But since I haven't gotten better than 4th yet, I don't think I stand a chance. If only ours, Australia, was like the European one where anyone who gets a win has a chance of getting a prize. Also, happy autumn, everyone. What a lovely message. Thank you, my friend.
Well, for us, here in New
It's
Jersey
winter.
time, it's winter for a little while longer,
Too long.
and then it's spring.
Do other countries have a groundhog that tells them what the weather is going to do? Just put that out there. Somebody get back to us.
I'm sure I will keep an eye on the chat.
Like, is it a koala or like a kangaroo or something?
I like how we laugh. Like, that's just preposterous. It's got to be a groundhog.
I mean,
It's got to live in the ground.
Punxsutawney Phil.
I won't say it. It's not nice.
Pokemon games overall
Wait,
on
now I'm
mobile.
trying to think of what they would call if they had like a koala that predicts the weather in Australia, what his name would be. I don't know, like
What's an Aussie name that starts
Yeah, I'm
with
trying
K
to-
or C?
Foster's. Australian for beer, you know? Remember those?
I
commercials?
do remember that. I can't think of any like Aussie K or C name. You think about that.
Crocodile Dundee.
Pokemon games on mobile. So that's all mobile games that have Pokemon or are officially released by the Pokemon Company.
Oh, it'd probably be like, I don't know, Brisbane Nigel or something.
That's a great name. They've made 2.5 billion worldwide.
Brisbane Sea Shadow this year.
Total game downloads sit at 640 million. Obviously, the lion's share of that revenue made goes to Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go accounts for 98% of that revenue.
Wow.
So 2.45 billion. Hello, Antonio. Antonio. Then you have other games making up the rest. Pokemon Duel, Pokemon Quest, Pokemon Magikarp Jump, and Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Also Shuffle. I didn't say Shuffle. Shuffle's the second most popular one. So, yeah, 2.5 billion. Mobile has been pretty good for Pokemon Company, but especially Pokemon Go. Autumnal Blake again says, Pokemon Duel is a solid game. There's some good strategy, and the element of luck keeps it interesting. I'm curious to see what they'll do next in the mobile area, since one-upping Go would be near impossible. You would think so, my friend, but you never know. You never know what the next big thing is. You might remember that there was a time when Pokemon was a fad. I will never forget the articles about that. I think Time had one where it's like Pokemon's on its way out.
Yeah, realistically, it's not going to last forever.
Nothing lasts forever, except my friendship for you.
Except my love, diamonds.
Diamonds. Finally, this week, Square Enix has said that Octopath Traveler has hit 1.5 million units sold. And that's up from it was like just over 1 million last time we heard. And last time we heard was roughly 3 months ago. So good job, guys. They also took this opportunity to announce that they're doing a prequel game for mobile called Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent.
Whoa.
A free-to-play single-player RPG set in the world of Orstera. And it takes place several years before the events of Octopath Traveler. As their, quote, HD 2D, unquote, graphics, which is the term they use to describe how the graphics look in Octopath Traveler. Choice between 3 reigning champions, field commands where you take various actions towards characters on the field, blah, blah, blah. And then on top of that, they were like, hey, are you looking for another console game from us? One of the members of the Octopath Traveler team said, everyone who waits for a new console game, sorry, we will need more time for developing. So does that mean a new Octopath for consoles is in the works? Does that mean that team is working on a new console game, but it's not Octopath? I don't know, but something's coming. Garge, what a great name. Garge has the first comment, and he says, but I have a perfectly good Switch. I'd rather play this on Square Enix. How a lot of people feel. But this one's mobile. And only announced for Japan so far, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Speaking, I don't know what reminded me, but I wanted to say, I meant to say this earlier in the show. Thank you, everybody, for a wonderful week on Twitter this past week. We had just shy of 4 million impressions on our Twitter account in just a single week. So thank you very much for that support. The people who have been supporting us for a long time, the newcomers, everybody else in between, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for retweeting and liking and following and sending me memes, and most of all, telling me when I've typed something wrong in the title. But yes, thank you. I sincerely mean that. It's I know our Twitter feed is crazy. I know we tweet a lot every day, and a lot of you guys have decided to follow us anyway, so thank you. I appreciate it. Kirby. Oh, Kirby, you got something to talk about.
Oh,
What have you been playing?
So this past week,
That's me.
I played a game called
That's me.
Remi Lore, which
RPG about Remy Malik.
no, not quite. So I
You
didn't
start on the planet where he was born.
I didn't even know this game existed until you you asked me if I wanted a code for it.
You, Link, the hero. Yes.
Um,
You were looking for something to play. I had a code.
yeah, and you told me that it's like a Diablo clone, basically with anime characters.
Yes.
And so yeah, I played that. I beat it in about, I don't know, 5 hours. I'm sure.
Yay.
Yeah, it's not a very long game. I'm sure plenty of people can beat it in like even less time. But I did die a few times.
Wow! Incredible!
I thought the game was okay, but as far as like Diablo type games go, I thought it was kind of lacking in substance.
No way! I don't believe
Why
it!
I don't ever have the soundboard.
Yeah, like the whole time I was playing it, it just reminded me of. Did you ever play any of the Torchlight games? There's Torchlight and Torchlight 2. They came out, I don't know, maybe.
No!
I was looking for it. No, I haven't. I'm familiar with them, but I haven't. played
Okay, yeah, because the Remi Lore kind of reminded me of playing the Torchlight games because they're both, Diablo type games that have like very colorful, maybe somewhat more kid friendly graphics as compared to the actual Diablo games. No, not hentai. But I don't know. I felt like Torchlight just has more to it. There's like I don't know. In Remi Lore, there's essentially it's there's essentially like only 3 characters in the game, and there's a very basic like almost I don't know, like fairy tale type of storyline to it. You play as like this young schoolgirl named Remi who meets a magical talking book, and then she goes into a magical land and helps the book fight robots and
Huh? What?
and that's about it.
Standard story.
Yeah, you don't. I don't know. There's and instead of collecting like money, the currency in the game is actually
V-Bucks.
no, it's like candy and donuts and popsicles and
Ooh.
stuff like that. And yeah,
I would be broke.
and that's what you use to buy stuff in this game, like upgrades and stuff. And you collect different kinds of weapons. And that's something I wanted to bring up. So
Well,
Doing cat camera.
do you really
Ignore
have to
me.
do this now?
Yes.
Um,
I'm listening to you.
So far, I've there's 3 different weapon types that I've used, and I guess you unlock. There's a weapon type that you unlock after you beat the game, and they're called gauntlets, and they're basically like these. They're like giant things you wear on your hands.
Like Captain Marvel wore last night, except
I guess. And yeah, you just use them to like punch enemies and break things.
Yeah.
And some of them just look basically like a large pair of gloves, but then other like sets of gauntlets are just kind of random objects. Like sometimes they'll just be like giant juice boxes or rugby balls or I don't know, teddy bears or whatever. And there was one pair of gauntlets that the game refers to as poop hands, and it's just these 2 giant like rubber gloves, and each one is holding like a big turd covered in flies. And I was like,
hey now.
And when I found the poop hands, I was like, okay, now this game is worth it.
This is what I needed. This is what puts it over the top.
But no, to be serious, yeah, I don't know. I thought the game was okay, but I didn't think there was a whole lot of substance or depth to it. Like combat is basically like you hit enemies, you dash away to avoid getting hit, then you dash back and you hit them some more, and you run around and break all the breakable objects in a room to collect all the candy and donuts inside, and it's basically that for the whole game. And there are like 4 or 5 bosses. I don't know. And then when you told me how much the game cost, I was like, I think that's a little steep.
Huh? What?
Especially-
Yeah, it's
especially
$40.
Yeah, especially considering how short the game is. I mean, there is like a new game plus.
Yeah, I saw people that are enjoying the game run through New Game Plus to try and just get better loot and gear and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so once you beat the game the first time, you unlock a new character and the gauntlet weapons, as I explained, and but I don't know. I don't think I would have played this game if I hadn't gotten it for free, essentially. So that's what I played.
Thank you, Kirby.
Yes, no
that was
problem.
very insightful. Nick, Momray, what have you been playing?
I played a little Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh, you did play something, yeah.
Yeah. I have 0 complaints. I think it's a freaking blast, and I love it.
ZX Billy is telling you to get Bayonetta 2 instead, but you played Bayonetta 2.
I've already played through Bayonetta 2.
Thanks, Momray.
My pleasure.
Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
Well, I just recently played Trials, or should I say, it played me.
Oh, Trials Rising.
Yeah, I suck. And then at home, I tried to get back into Icy, and I played that for about 5 minutes before I decided I'm pretty much done with that game.
Why is that?
Because it's more difficult than what I'm able to do. Plus, I put it down for like a few weeks or a month, and now I have no idea how to play anything.
Yeah, we all fall into that dangerous trap every now and again.
And then I started playing Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes.
Was that for the first time you started playing?
Yeah, and I've been enjoying that. It's definitely weird and a different game. But all those No More Heroes games have been different, so it's not that different, right? And but I have not played as Badman. Is that his name?
Yes.
I've only played it as Travis. I got real frustrated, so then I got a chair and put it closer to the TV, and that helped me a little bit.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with name of Austin. We were talking about how people sit back from the TV and play, and like some people lay down and play. And I can't be one of those people. I have to like sit up and pay attention. It just doesn't. I can't play right.
My couch used to be closer to the television, looking at the TV to the left. And now it's along the back wall. So it's just a little far, and some of that game, like the whole second game, you're running through the streets from like a top-down view, and it's like you're really tiny on the screen. Not that it's hard to see, but it's just you feel like you're not really involved. I also have a heck of a time with. I just feel like things are a little loose with that game. The controls wise, like if I run and I stop running, I feel like he kind of goes one extra step, and I'm falling off of a lot of ledges.
I have not felt that.
And also, this is something that you just say is my fault, but it happens far more than I like, and it makes me hate everything that I play. I press the thumbstick down, and I don't move in any direction. I just press it down, and that's how you do your special attacks. And there was this one thing that I needed to like dash to get to someplace fast enough before a switch turned off. And I'd hit the switch on, and I pressed down, and I made a very clear effort to not move my thumb in any direction. And I would press down, and I would go to press the button, and I wouldn't be pressed down anymore. I'd be moving in one way or the other, and I'm like, there's something about I don't know. I guess these controllers are just become much more sensitive. And
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there another way to do the special move?
I don't even know. That's how I know.
I thought there was one where you like hold the shoulder button and shake or something. I could be wrong.
That's for the special move, but for your 4 assigned buttons,
Yes.
you hold the thumbstick in. and then you press the assigned button that you have to your.
Man, I could have swore I was doing something different.
You
I could
played
be
it also
remembering
on-
it
You
wrong.
also played it on the Pro Controller. I'm playing it. I don't have Pro Controller.
I played Pro Controller and Joy-Con.
Right, but I'm saying you also played it with Pro Controller. So
Yeah.
maybe that's where there's a controller.
Yeah, well, no, because they had the same buttons. There's no different buttons on those controllers. Just one has a D-pad and one has the buttons instead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to
It's
go back into it. I
frustrating,
could be
and-
remembering it wrong.
Whether I'm playing on the PS4, I mean, yeah, sure, it's my fault, but I also
Cumulative
think that
says
all of these controllers, these joysticks, are just far more sensitive than they've ever been.
Cumulative says you don't hold the thumbstick down for that. You hold L to use your force sign moves. That's why it wasn't making sense to me. Yeah, he says you hold L. And then you hit one of the face buttons.
Then,
L plus A, L plus B, L plus X, and L plus Y, he says. That sounds right to me.
and then I'm totally wrong.
Well, that would help you then. He said you need to literally and figuratively hold L. And Autumnal says, how can you figuratively hold L?
So here's my question to you: when you play a game and there's shoulder buttons and there's triggers, do you have one finger on the shoulder button and one on the trigger?
I always keep mine on the back. One index finger on each back trigger. So
What the hell is a back trigger?
you know, you have
There's
L or
trigger and
R or
shoulder
Z.
button.
So I hold my fingers on ZL and ZR, and then I
How
switch
much
between
is
them if I need. Yeah, I don't have to. Do you do two on each side?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't. I'm just that's why
Hi, one
my
GWX.
brain doesn't work and I can't.
I
function.
wonder if there's people that play like that. Does anybody play like that in the chat where they use two fingers for your ZL and L and ZR and R? Like you constantly have both fingers on each one?
I
Yeah.
can't move them separately that dexterously. Is that the word?
That's interesting. I'm sure there's some people who do that.
Yeah.
You play anything
Well,
else?
like your dad playing with the joystick.
That's not a good example.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah.
does things like him.
Played how much is it or whatever.
Price-
price
pricing game?
it right.
Priced it right.
Price it right.
Price it right.
Oh, I got the
On
Echo
the
to
Echo.
whisper at me upstairs.
Oh, it's weird, right?
She was like, "Whoa, looks like you just whispered to me." And I was like, and then she whispered because I whispered her name and then I said, "What's the weather today?" She was like, "Whoa, it looks like you whispered from now on." Da da da. And then she was like, "Today's weather," and I was like, "Ah, make it stop!"
The forecast calls for death.
It was Today you can expect.
I don't know what else did I play.
I don't know. No, you tell me.
Oh, Toon Blast because
Oh.
I don't know.
What level are you on?
Does it even matter?
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
1,700 and lose.
Whoa.
All right, that's it.
Hold up. 1,730. Yeah. Big whoop. What about you, Romy? Let's just get it over
Oh,
with.
thank you.
Let's just get it over with.
Wow, I played a little Trials Rising this week as well, but I usually keep it for when you're here because we've
I'm
been
gonna
playing
say
it
what you
together.
played. You also played
Okay.
that other game with the robot girl, and you played.
No. You can't go to the next game yet. You got to say the game's name.
I don't know it. Neither do you.
No, I do.
So you
Yeah, I'm
see.
trying to think about the alternate title for it, like the title I made up on the site for the little byline. Fight Robot Succulent. That's what I wrote.
Okay. Battle, droid, android.
Assault Android Cactus
Cactus.
Plus.
Oh, okay. I didn't. When you said succulent, I thought you meant like the adjective.
So, no, sorry, like a Chinese meal.
It's like a succulent Chinese meal.
Yes, I played that, and I know it's been available on other platforms, but I've never played it. And it's a lot of fun. It's just so, like right off the bat, it's like, here's a crap ton of enemies. Go for it. So I beat the first boss, and I'm on to the second world. I like it. It's got unique visuals. They're simple, but they're interesting. Something about them is interesting
The
to me.
first enemies that you saw, I mean, if that's the first time you played it,
It is. You
was,
watched the first time I played it.
there was like 3 bad guys, and their bullets were super slow, and I was like, wow, that's going to real be easy.
That's going to be real be easy.
And then
Yeah,
and
level.
then
That was the
very first
tutorial.
level. It was just like wall-to-wall bad guy. Baddies.
Daddy.
Joe, I unlocked somebody. I unlocked one character, but I haven't used them yet. I've just been sticking with Cactus. I really like it. It's got a good feel to it. It's got a good speed. It's very fluid. The voice acting was above average, I would say. I like the main character. She's a little. Her voice actor is a little snarky, and it's got some kick to her voice. I appreciate that. Indie games, it's a little tougher to find them that have good voice acting, but I dig it. So yeah, I literally played. I guess it was like a half hour I played that, but I do very much enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. Definitely the bullet hell kind of game, and it's like bullet hell and Smash TV and stuff like that. It was fun. So I played that. I also played some Overwhelm. Ooh, baby, that is my kind of game. Overwhelm feels so good, and it has a great atmosphere to it and a great soundtrack that adds to that atmosphere. Overwhelm is basically it's I guess you would call it like a 2-bit. Nah, I guess you call it a 4-bit game. So it's very rudimentary graphics, but you're this little guy that goes down to this planet, and there's this like hive mind that is basically taking over the planet, and it's evolving, and you have to stop it before it fully evolves and destroys everything and goes on to other planets. So you have these 5 little gems that you have to collect, and each one is guarded by some monster that's part of this hive, and it is a lot of fun. It's 2D side scroller, kind of designed Metroidvania way, but not a huge map, and you only get 3 tries. And if you die on the 3rd try, you have checkpoints that you can go back to, like you can start from the last boss fight that you completed, or back at the hub when you first drop in. And your weapon has limited bullets, so you have to find ammo caches along the way to refill. You jump with L, you shoot with ZR, and you aim your gun with the right joystick. So you're always, because things are flying around you like crazy. It is co-op. I haven't played co-op yet, but boy, do I like that game. It's very limited color palette too. It's like black, red, and white. And that's it. It's like similar to Downwell in that regard. But boy, I really like that. It's very cool.
Do you feel overwhelmed?
Blake says, "Overwhelm me, Daddy."
Do you feel
yes, you feel overwhelmed without a doubt. Yes, I was like, boy, I wish
overwhelmed ever
in a game
in life.
Yeah. Yes, right now.
Question.
I really like that game a lot. I'd be very curious to play it with a second player and see how that goes, because you can revive a fallen partner. I don't know how many times, but I imagine it would be maybe a bit easier with a second player in there. But I beat one of the bosses, and then I made it to the second, which you can pick where you want to go. So you just know where the gems are. You have to make your way there. And the next boss that I found was like 2 lizards, like a black lizard and a white lizard, and they were like crawling all around this room that you're locked in. And they can walk on ceilings and walls and everything, and you have to constantly move around to get away from them and shoot. I died, so I didn't beat that yet. But man, I really like it. It's such a cool game. I really like everything about it. No complaints at all right now.
It's like what was that game called? Where
I don't know.
It wasn't Butcher, was it?
Yes, it was Butcher. That's exactly right. Yes, it has. I would say the graphics are a little more defined than Butcher, but yes, perfect analogy without a doubt.
That's why I won't be buying it.
Well, I would like to play it with one of you guys.
Go at it, Kirby.
I'm going into my app to see what else. I know I didn't play. No, I didn't play anything on PS4 or any other system. Like I said, I played more Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, but I already talked about that.
Extra, read all about it.
Maybe that's all that I've played. I watched someone. Oh, I played some Tetris 99. Yeah, like I said, but
I did.
You did. I can't get that victory royale. Not yet, anyway. Oh, I guess I played Ape Out, and Kirby saw me finish Ape Out.
I watched you beat Ape Out.
Except there's some like new mode that's unlocked that I guess is going through the whole game in reverse. That will get you. I don't know what, but I played Ape Out and
look at you locked up in a
love that game.
Animal lab.
Well, I can't talk about it. Spoilers. I really like that game too.
The game starts as in a lab.
Yeah, the first stage is like a facility. Yeah.
So if you play the game in reverse, you get yourself locked back up.
I hopefully not, but yeah, the way back is like the ape feeling bad about it, and it's like waking people up. Yeah, that's a great game
Just
too.
taking bodies and like propping them up.
So a lot of great stuff on the Switch right now. Lots of fun stuff to play, and there's just too much of it. I bought Devil May Cry. It came in yesterday. I don't know when I'm going to play that, but I'm very excited because I love when Capcom does their really stupid, over-the-top action games. I'm all about that, and it's going to have a vibe I would imagine is very similar to Bayonetta, even though the same people didn't work on it. Some of the same people did work on Clover when it was Clover, because that was part of Capcom. So there's some bleed over on the team, but Capcom is very happy with how this game has been reviewed so far. And I've heard it's wacky and weird and cheesy and silly, but that's what you want from a Devil May Cry game. So I'm excited. All right, let's do a question. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. This question comes from, oh my God, it's Willis again.
Wesley
Willis. He says, rock and roll McDonald's. Willis says, can we please get PC's reaction to Daisy being added to Smash Brothers? Well, PC listens to the podcast. So when she gets to this episode, I will make sure I pass on her reaction to Daisy being in Smash Brothers.
The reaction is probably hi, I'm
Squealing.
Daisy.
Also, is Daisy's inclusion proof that Sakurai's favorite Nintendo Ling is PC? I mean, it could be. Maybe he heard she wanted it in the game, and he's like, well, now we got to do it. And he went into work with his IV bag hooked up to him, and he's like, I can't stop working. We got to get that character in there. It's either that or he's a big fan of women in mustard-colored formal wear. Well, I mean, who isn't really? Mustard is a beautiful color. I mean, just look at Colonel Mustard. So I think other characters are wearing yellowish, brownish clothing.
The man in the yellow hat.
There you go. See how proud the people are that wear yellow? They have yellow or mustard in their names. It's not just like, I like this color. It's, I am this color. How does Curious George not know the man in yellow hat's name? That's weird.
Because Curious George doesn't speak English. He just knows.
He does have a name, though. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure it's Frank.
You say that about everybody, though.
No, this time I mean it. Look that name up. All right, that's your question. Let's do music.
Oh, okay. Would you turn this on for me? I did just polish my nails. Please be careful.
Oh, this isn't on yet? How do I turn it on?
There's like a little switch.
Bing bong.
Mr. Go Nintendo.
Is that a joke that because I cover Nintendo and the Switch, I have to know where all switches are for everything?
The man in the yellow hat's name was revealed as
Shamblo. It's Shamblo.
Is that what I sound like?
Spingloo.
Ted Shackleford.
Oh, okay.
Rusty Shackleford.
Are we good?
Send your music to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. That is gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Well done.
This came from Mental Floss.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah, we're great.
Here comes one from Zoso187.
This is Wario Land Smooth Moves. Wario Land Shake It. Sorry.
Yeah, shake it. You gotta shake it.
I'm glad that was on camera. Gift that, everybody. Clip it, as they say.
It is. You're right. It's a nice little jam.
Great game. I loved Wario as a character.
Yeah.
He's a great character. He's gross. He's mean, but he's got a heart.
Does he?
He's like me.
He wears yellow.
Gross, mean, but has a heart.
That's
We
right.
share a lot of things.
Wear yellow. You love yellow. You're wearing yellow right
I
now.
don't really wear a lot of yellow. I think it makes me look washed out.
You know Captain Crunch's full name?
I'm sorry,
Crunt?
who?
Captain Crunt?
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunt.
Oh, that reminds me. I got
Captain Crunch.
I'll tell you guys something later.
Oh, did you find?
Why don't they change the
Peanut
name of the
butter.
cereal like Captain
No, but
Crunk?
they did get back to me after I sent my email.
Hey kids, Captain Crunk. What's his name? Herschel.
Horatio Magellan Crunch.
I was close.
That's a great name.
Hey kids, you've had Captain Crunch. How about some Captain Crunk? He's driving like a giant pirate ship down the street, like booming music. That's a real banger, Captain Crunk.
His eyes are all bloodshot.
Magical crunch berries! Crunch berries! Crunch berries! Crunch berries! Oh God, that's great.
This.
Captain Crunk.
Are you ready? Have you composed yourself? Or
Go ahead. I just imagine him like blazed out of his mind, like a kid, kid screaming, and he's like,
But the man in
"You and the captain, make it happen!"
So the man in the yellow hat, his name was in a deleted scene of the 2006 Curious George movie. So Ted Shackelford might not really.
Curious George
hold up.
movie. All right, so it can be whatever we want. So it's Frank. Go on.
Frank is always your default.
I know.
This one comes from Link 601.
What's this one?
3DS.
Is your first party?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that Rusty's Real Deal Baseball or whatever it's called? It's like old school, but they're like, hey, it's not really old school. Oh, it's like it's a collection of games.
No.
Oh. That noise.
It's a Tetris game.
Yeah, it's
It's
Tetris. Oh, 3DS.
Medios.
No.
It's first. Wow, did they publish that game? They
Yeah,
developed.
what's that collection?
Clubhouse
It's not a
game,
collection.
but that's on 3DS. She says it's not a collection.
Okay. Nintendo Life.
No.
Tomodachi Link?
No. No.
Fortune Street. All right, go ahead. We don't know.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
What's another Pokemon game?
You basic.
I would have never. I would have never guessed that.
Nasty.
Okay. So
You nasty.
here comes the next song. And it's from
Thanks, Monterey.
all right, sometimes it takes me just a moment and I want to make sure I have it all right. Okay, this one comes
It's fast.
Just a moment.
this one comes from Andy the Zombie.
Oh, it's Smash Brothers. Now let me think of which one this is. This is Melee.
It is. Great job. It is Melee.
Super Smash
This
My
one comes
Bundle.
from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks.
Focus on. Focus on.
Focus all of them.
Focus all of the attacks.
Okay. Resident Evil?
No.
I thought it could have been like a raid mode or something. Is it Capcom?
I don't know.
Is it Platinum?
I don't know.
What's this?
I don't. 3DS.
Okay.
What game is like that? That's a Capcom noise. That's not exclusively Capcom. It's a Japanese thing. Franchise?
Yeah.
That's right.
You're like running around, but I feel like it's
No.
it's like
It's Konami.
yeah, it's Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what? Twin Snakes?
Snake Eater.
Oh, Snake Eater. Oh, Twin Snakes is
Snake
GameCube. Yeah.
Eater.
All right, that was from Jet Jaguar. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. This next one comes from Naka.
I don't know. Apparently, you thought I was going to know it right away.
I did.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Now that I hear it, it doesn't sound like what it says it is. But maybe.
What system?
Wii U.
First party, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like what you thought. Kirby? Yoshi? Not Mario. Not Zelda. Not Animal Crossing. Not Star Fox. Not Pokemon. Nintendo Land?
No.
Not Metroid.
No.
What the hell is this? Wonderful 101. They published that. I don't know. Go. Xenoblade.
No.
Damn it. Damn it. Go ahead over there.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Is it? I don't
Right?
remember that
I
song
didn't
at
think it
all.
sounded- I thought it would be real easily.
It doesn't make me think of monkeys.
I don't remember that one bit.
Okay.
Must've been a boss
So that
fight
was
or
from
something.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This one comes from Glitter
My leg.
Bubble 3.
Oh, you guys are doing good this week.
Conker's Fat Further.
A feel-good family comedy starring
Hi, baby.
Portable?
Ear nails? Yes.
Licensed?
No.
What's DS? Not licensed. First party?
Yeah.
What the hell is this? Pokemon something.
Nope.
Kirby.
Not Zelda. Not Mario. Not It's Mario. Mario and Luigi?
No.
I'm sorry, what's this one? DS?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Is it a Paper Mario?
No.
Mario Party?
No.
Or other? I really don't like it.
Me either. So I'd really love it if you could get this.
It's a sports game.
Yep.
Yeah. Hoops.
Yep.
3 versus
Crazy.
3.
All right, that was Mario Hoops 3 versus 3 from Glitter Bubble 3.
Look at
3,
this.
3,
Look at
3,
this thing.
3, 3, 3.
It's
This
yours
one comes
now.
from Alien Boy VA. Pardon me, I'm sorry. This is a different kind of link than I normally get, so I'm having trouble with the
Hey,
volume.
wear your little hat, stupid. There you go.
Let's see if I can do this.
What a nice stupid little hat. All right.
Can't make the volume do anything. I don't know how to fix that for you. I'm sorry.
You can't just turn down the volume on your computer.
Nope.
Why not?
I don't know, but it doesn't work with that speaker.
Oh, go ahead.
It's getting loud.
The hell is this?
That's what you're supposed to be figuring out.
Switch.
3DS eShop.
Okay.
Art styles.
Yeah, I was gonna guess
No.
an style game.
I'm sorry.
Just turn it off. It's too loud.
You're killing everyone's eardrums.
I have no idea what it is. Is it a game about racing?
I think it might be.
Oh,
Oh.
oh damn it. Damn it. It's like some new wave neon colored racing game.
No.
Shite. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it. I swear to God, if it's that game, I'm gonna be so mad. Go ahead.
It is 80s Overdrive.
Ah, damn it! It's exactly the game! Damn it! Oh, damn it!
This next song comes from Giant Reggie.
Man, that one hurts. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
The system.
64.
Kirby?
No.
Bomberman. Mario. Not Zelda. What the hell is this? Castlevania. Glover. Wingback.
No.
Quest 64.
Oh.
No.
It's not first party, is it?
It is.
Oh my goodness, what is this? Did I say Pokemon?
You did, and I said no.
You basic.
Yeah, basic.
It's first party.
Sure
oh.
is.
I bet I know what it is.
Do you?
I'm gonna guess Star Fox.
Yeah, it is.
Because
Star Fox
like all
64.
Star Fox games, I only ever take one route. So there's songs I've never heard.
This one comes from the Namekian Clown.
What system?
3DS.
They all do 3DS.
Just happened that way. Actually, a lot of music I tried to put in when I went to the YouTube link was unavailable. Did they like do a big
Like
cleanup
copyright.
lately?
I got nothing. Sounds like it could be like an espionage related game. Is this correct?
The 3DS.
No, I don't. No, it's not espionage.
Movie related?
No.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Monster Hunter Generations.
Oh,
On the 3DS from the Namekian Clown.
man.
That's where you dress up as a monster.
Here's your
and
last
infiltrate
chance.
their monster society. It is spy. Yeah.
Jess I sends us this one.
Thanks, Jess I. Oh, Nikki Hill, do you have a guess? You did earlier. Fair enough. I love this jam, man.
On that street. Fortune Street. I don't remember what I said earlier.
This is coming out on the Switch soon. Collection. Man, I love this music. First one is the best as far as music.
I don't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Which is exactly what I did.
It's Phoenix Wright, It's Attorney.
It
Phoenix Wright trilogy coming to Switch soon. In HD.
Nice job, guys.
Chat was going nuts. Objection. Take that. Hold it. Man, that song when you corner somebody in a courtroom and they know they're screwed. Oh, I love it. So good. And they're like sweating because they know they're caught. Closer? Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Here.
Stop.
One more song, please.
We're good. Show the cats everyone.
Is that all
I
the
love them.
songs?
Yeah.
Oh. How many did we get?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
I didn't
Now
pay
look.
attention either because last week I counted and I was wrong.
Are we done?
Oh my goodness.
Let's go to the bathroom.
I do too.
Does anyone not have to go to the bathroom?
For the after show, we're going to see who craps their pants first.
I made sure to go.
That
before we
is the end of the
started.
show. I'm waiting to see the tally, but I don't feel like we did too well.
Well, I didn't get this score, so goodbye, everybody.
Well, everybody, that's another show.
Bye, my brain.
Bye, my brain. Good luck out there.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Is he rubbing his head on the camera?
He was, yes. Let's do after show. Seriously says, thanks, Armsy, my brain, Kirby, Manch,
I thought you were gonna say
and the
Carl.
freshly groomed Nikki Hill, looking good in all capital letters. Great show as usual. Bye, everyone. Kisses and hugs. Video Game Guru is here, and he says, hello, bye. Thanks for joining us, Video Game Guru. I appreciate it, even if it's only for a couple seconds. You know, we all are busy people and got things to do. I understand if you can't make it at all or only make it for a couple seconds. It's the thought that counts. Boy, Manch, you are making this really hard to do, bud. Catman, is here. You go. Here you go. There. That is prime. Oh, giving you face rubs and everything. You guys are getting a show on the camera right now.
I wonder what it sounds like for them.
Look at that. No, they're coming out of silver, dude.
Oh,
Well, guys, no, I haven't checked out Umbrella Academy, but I've heard plenty of good things. I've had a couple friends tell me that I should check it out.
I really didn't enjoy it too much.
You really didn't enjoy it too much, you said. All right, scale of 1 to 10. What do you give it?
I mean, I didn't finish it, so I really got better, but
How many episodes have you watched?
I don't remember 3 or 4.
Well, aren't there like 12 or 10 or something?
I don't know, man. I just didn't really get a great feel for it. It was just like
Were you tired when you were watching it?
strange heroes concepts. It was like they were trying to be sneaky about stuff, but it was just like overly sneaky. I don't know.
Matt says, Nikki Hill doesn't like something? Color me surprised.
Who said that?
Matt Fox.
That facts. I don't like you.
I
think you're great.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 3 people tell me that they really liked it and that I should check it out. You're the first one I've heard that says they don't like it, but you're only 3 or 4 episodes in. Yes, Zeno, I agree with that. Yeah, I do want to check it out. There's a whole bunch of stuff on Netflix and other places that I want to check out, but honestly, right now, like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, when I get free time, if I'm not dead tired, I have been reading comics. New comics come out on Wednesdays, and I haven't had the chance to read this Wednesday's comics yet, so I'm behind. And I have there was a good amount. There's like 11. There's 11 comics that I picked up. So, yeah, Timothy, I've heard about that too. And also, tomorrow on HBO is the the serial follow-up show, the new documentary that goes further into Adnan Syed and all that stuff.
Was on HBO?
Yeah, HBO. And then also tomorrow night, as a pay-per-view, which I'll be watching, but tomorrow night is I lost it. American Gods comes back for the 2nd season finally, but sans Brian Fuller, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. Brian Fuller was the reason I watched that show. I'm not going to watch the 2nd season. I'll certainly check it out, but I'm a little nervous. But that seems like what Brian Fuller does. Like, either has complete creative control or he goes in for a season and then he leaves right away. So I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to check out. But honestly, it's just been comics and games. Well, Video Game Guru, I hope it was a great trip. We have just enough time for you to tell me what you picked up, if you don't mind telling me. I understand if you don't want to share all your comic purchases from this week. But yeah, I'm really enjoying. Oh, he got Pokemon cards. I understand. There are 2 shops by us. One that focuses particularly on all comic stuff, and then right down the street from them is a shop that focuses on board games and card games and stuff like that. So I haven't got in that shop. I want to check it out. It's just with board games, I love board games, but it's a very dangerous slope to go down because I know I would want to get a whole bunch of them. And we haven't played D&D in forever. I would love to play that again because I had so much fun when we did it. But it's hard to get everybody together because they got babies and they got to work and they're tired and, life, man. Chicks, man. All right. That's the after show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hang out with some friends and family. Play some games. Go see a movie. Listen to some music. Take it easy. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.